Okay, I just finished Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicle. Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm going to give you spoilers for the end now, so if you haven't seen the ending, scroll away. Everybody gone who wants to be gone? Cool. I hate what they did with this ending. I would say I despise it. I would say it probably ruined one of my favorite games. For the record, the remake is awesome in all other aspects. The voice acting is awesome, the balance adjustments are awesome. It is, for the most part, the best way to play Final Fantasy Tactics. But in the original Final Fantasy Tactics ending, it was left vague as to whether or not the main character and his sister Alma survived. One person saw them post the final battle, and it was unclear whether or not he was just hallucinating in grief. His father was also lost in the final battle, and eventually his conviction was such that he wrote a story about how Ramza was the real hero of history, and the church burned him at the stake for being a heretic. And it was basically like a Shakespearean tragedy. In the Ivalice Chronicles, the remake, right at the end, they cut to a black screen and have white text on it that basically says, yeah, Ramza definitely survived in the end. And there are a couple lines about how Ramza and Alma ended up living a life of freedom and were happily ever after. And it fucking sucks. First of all, this means that all of Ramza's, army survived as well. So I guess good old Thunder God Sidolphus Orlando is just like, fuck my son, I'm never going to see him again. Even though he survived just fine. And everyone else, like Agrius, like Mustadio, like fucking Meliadul, who knew the truth of what happened, not a single one of them stepped forward. All of them just went into hiding. Along with the, 5 to 30 other, nameless schlubs that were in your army. After literally fighting the church for the whole game, not a single one of them came forward to, protect Auron when they burned him at the stake for trying to tell the truth. The whole game, you were going against the church in an attempt to tell the truth, and you just let Auron get burned at the stake? It's like, sucks to be him. The game's ending only made sense when it was ambiguous, because Ramza and his entire army suspiciously disappearing made it more plausible that the church could cover everything up. And in the final scene, where Queen Ovelia kills Delita, and Delita kills her back because she thought Ramza, and more importantly, Agrius, her forbidden lesbian love, died because of Delita's machinations. No one thought to go to Ovelia and be like, oh yeah, we're alive, we're just fine. The new ending sucks. And here's the thing. I know that that's what the original creator of the game wanted. The original creator of the game wanted Ramza and Alma and all of the troops to survive. And this last black screen white text was making the ending clear because he was unsatisfied with people reading it as if they had not survived. But honestly, this is exactly what we mean when we say death of the author. It does not matter that the creator thinks it's better this way. It is not better this way. The original ambiguous readings were better. Final Fantasy Tactics was a Shakespearean tragedy. It was a story about how everyone died, but the question is, what do you die for? Do you die for what's right, or do you die for personal gain? Do you die fighting against an oppressive system, or do you die a cog in it? But now, this new, black screen white text has tried to, in 4 lines of dialogue, flip it from a tragedy to a comedy. Everyone survives, and everyone goes on to lead a life of adventure, and they all live happily ever after, except they don't interact with the political structure of the land that they just fight to save, at all. And they have no bearing on history at all from this point forward. That's so stupid. It made more sense when everyone died at the end, but Ramza died nobly, and Delita died getting stabbed by the person he used all game long. It made more sense. I am very disappointed in you, Square Enix. I am very disappointed. This is my Han shot first. This is my, the agents in E.T. holding walkie-talkies instead of guns. That's what this is for me. Ramza Beowulf is dead. He died fighting 6 skeleton angels in hell.